All right, gonna be doing a Never Nathaniel, Never Give Up seed today. Now I've already ran it once. I didn't really record it, which is fine because I didn't win anyway. But it was I gotta say it's an absolute nightmare of a seed. So real quick, the challenge is speakers hearing spent. So if you want to try it, to torture yourself before you kind of get the spoilers here, go ahead and stop this video and do that now. But I'm gonna now click into my run result here and just show what we're working with here. So it was an absolute nightmare of a seed. It was a struggle the entire way through. Uh, as far as I remember, for several seeds, you're only offered Umbra units, and you're stuck with the worst of the Umbra units. You know, you don't get alloy till I believe the Daedalus reward. Your choices of alloy or Shadow Eater. I went alloy. I kind of regret it. I do think Shadow Eater would be better, and I believe the Kin Host is the final unit offered. And then I think there's a Carver in there somewhere. But even the usual suspects, shall we say, that I like to see. Like, there's no. It's a tough one. You're not offered aggressive. Um, I went superfood, and I really never got any use out of it. Like, you do start with immortal trades and avoid binding, which makes it seem like, okay, I'm pretty likely to get perils or mind collapse, but you don't. Uh, so yeah, the superfood just really doesn't pan out unless you really try to make. It's tough, right? Because you're only offered Umbra for the early part of the run. Not knowing what comes up, it's hard to really lean that much on like doing a void binding zero cost deck, because that's the only way you're gonna make that work. Um, and then you're kind of SOL on a lot of stuff. Much there's not much good. Like, the whole run, I was looking for consume removes. Like, you eventually get the Shroud Spike, but you never get the consume remove. You also have, like, even I wanted it for the packed morsels. Like, I visited a lot of shops, you just can't find it. So there's just a lot of bad going on the run. Now I will say the winning runs. Now here's another thing: when you go through the run, there's one obvious line to winning, but to me it's not really in the spirit of like a never give up, because it's like you basically at one point you're offered a shadow siege before you have anything to know that it's going to work out. But if you take it later on, you are offered a sketches, so obviously that's just going to win the run, right? Like, you can get a shadow siege, and that's not a hard run at that point, right? So I'm not going to do that. To me, this is a good seed for me to really hammer again and see if you can beat it with a, just sort of standard strategy that is basically focused around Umbra, where you don't really have a lot of the usual suspects of brokenness, right? I think we'll still go with the Kinhost vessel. I don't know. I just don't think we're going to be able to do it alone with just an Umbra unit. I'm going to try Shadow Eater this time, eventually. Also, the Crucible Collector is just so bad. This unit, I think the Ring 2 choice is Collector or Warden, something like that. Just an abysmal choice, right? Just abysmal. These units are so bad. I really wish that they would get reworked for the DLC. I get that it's hard to balance because they are so good in the base game. Well, Crucible Collector is good. I don't know that I agree Warden's good in the base game, but Crucible Collector is pretty good in the base game. But they have to be probably the worst banners in the DLC, in my opinion. They're just not going to do anything for you. Like, they're not going to help with waves. They don't even kill the bosses. Like, I fed, like, against Chased. It didn't matter. Like, they all out damage Collector now with shards, so it's like even Collector doesn't do much to these bosses, right? You're also just not offered much, like, buffs, so it's really hard. Even, I had like a triple striking Kinhost, a triple striking alloy, but I just couldn't get much damage on them. So I'm going to try this again. I'm not going to do sketches. I'm not going to try to. I'm going to try my best to play it as if I don't have future knowledge of the run. And yeah, we'll get into it here then. So there is one thing I'm going to try different though, and this might go against everything I just said. I'm going to try starting Stalwart instead of Superfood. Here's the thing here's kind of my line of reasoning. When I look ahead and I see it's only Umbra, yeah, I have Void Binding and I have Immortal Trade in my opener. But most of the Umbra units other than Alloy and arguably in a way Shadow Siege, they're just single striking units. They're not sweepers, so it's like even just buffing them up a bunch with Void Binding isn't necessarily going to do it. And even Alloy, it's like I could do that, but I'm not going to generate enough morsels to actually keep it fueled. So I'm kind of thinking Stalwart could make sense here. If you look at either side, Superfood absolutely needs 2 cards in the common tier to show up to enable it. So that would be Mind Collapse or Perils. Ideally Perils, but Mind Collapse could work. It's a lot harder to get to work. If I do that, I'd obviously need to, if we go back to the map, I would have to... The problem there even is like there's a Merchant of Magic here without the unit, and there's no Merchant of Magic here. There's one here, but I have to give up a bunch of stuff. So it's like even Mind Collapse is pretty iffy. I'd have to hit like there on a plus damage thing, and then there's not even like temples. So Mind Collapse, I'd say I wouldn't even like say it's a viable way out of Ember Drain in this run, at least for most of it. So really it's just Perils that I would have to get, right? Now if I get it, obviously Superfood becomes insane. Alternatively, going Stalwart already gives me an advantage over Superfood in the fact that it enables the Umbra units more. It's more gorgeous for them. I only have Plinks. I don't have any additional morsel gen, so I don't know what my morsel generation is going to be like. If I get like an Alloy, it would absolutely love to have Stalwart for these early wing rings over Superfood. Same goes for really all of them, like Shadow Eater and whatnot. The more gorgeous, the better, especially when I basically can't generate morsels unless I get lucky, right? And get some good morsel generating cards. So what does Stalwart do in Wormkin specifically? Well, I think Stalwart can be pretty good in Wormkin because there's Echo Infusion. There's also Echo Transfer. Both of these cards are very good with Stalwart. You get those super good stats for several turns. Now, spoiler alert, we already know we don't get Perils. But if I remember correctly, we don't get Echo Infusion or Transfer anyway. So it's not like I feel like I could make the argument for Stalwart here, not knowing what's ahead of me. I went Superfood originally because it was pretty hard for me not to when I saw Void Binding and Immortal Trade, but I do want to see just how Stalwart makes this run different. I went Jack Strips before. The reason is when I saw Pyrostone, I'm like, okay, Pyrostone's obviously good, but I also saw, this Merchant of Steel is obviously getting hit, but you rarely can make use of the Pyrostone in a good way at the first Merchant of Steel. And then past that, it's like, I might hit this if I needed another Umbra, but the Hellvent would probably be an option. So maybe I hit that steel up. But then past that, none of the steels really look that enticing. Like this one has health and gold versus Vortex and Caverns. It's just more value to go that way. Even here, it's like I got to give up free artifact and a Hellvent. I do get the Caverns, so maybe that steel is okay. But still, I would generally want to go that route probably. And then even at the final one, the Hellvent is not on the steel side. I do get a Vortex, so it's not a completely bad side to go, but I had figured, I think especially, I had already done it with Superfood, but I think especially with Stalwart, because Stalwart is a very bad Ring 1 if you don't have much for it, which I don't. I think jack strips just makes sense. I could also see the argument for skipping that artifact here. Maybe I shoulda. Now, last time I went Dun Echo, spoiler alert, every single Dun Echo was a miss. But you don't know that, right? I could do the Mark of the Champion. I don't gain much, but it's not, I forget if it rounds up or down. I would either have 5 or 4 attack. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe if I do end up with an aggressive stack, which I would probably pivot to, this ends up being pretty okay, right? So Shadow Box, I could see the argument there. It's obviously not going to do anything if we don't find Morsel Gen, but with the Umbra banners, we're kind of like, well, we kind of want Morsel Gen, right? So I could see Shadow Box being good as well. And then Dun Echo could be good. But I'm kind of not a big fan of Dun Echo anymore. I thought early Dun Echo was like just too much value to pass up. This is a tough one because I feel like I could still be tempted toward Dun Echo here. But this one's tough because in the back of my mind I know how bad Dun Echo ended up being this run. So again, I'm kind of going against my thing, but I feel like this run is hard enough. I need a little bit of help. I'm at least not doing, this completely broken thing of just getting Shadow Siege into sketches, so I feel like I'm fine to maybe shy away from Dun Echo here, even though I don't know if I'd necessarily do that with zero knowledge of the future. It'd be pretty hard for me actually to not take Dun Echo. But again, I feel like I need some help. So, I mean, Shadowbox really isn't going to activate until the end game anyway. I could just take that. Mark of a Champion is a complete miss if I don't get aggressive, and honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I will get aggressive because I went Superfood last time. I never saw aggressive. I just saw Stalwart and locked it in. Who knows? Who knows? This one is the only one, though, that gives me any benefit ring 1. I could see an argument for it there. And to be honest, I don't know. I might just want to try this one. Shadowbox is pretty good, too, though. I feel like since we're kind of committed to Umbra, we take the Shadowbox and really just force ourselves to go morsels here. So there are spikes, which is rough, because that will absolutely kill Primordium, no questions asked. Granted, it's also, we got the 15 shards superhuman in the back, but at least the backliner will get killed by jack strips for the boss. I don't know, though, if gold is worth it in this case, so I think we're just going to maybe skip here. I took it last time because I had Superfood Primordium and it could survive it. Now that I can't survive the spikes, I'm like, I don't know that I actually want to do this, right? It's just money. It's not a unit draft. I think we skip here. So already Stalwart, obviously we knew was going to be a weaker turn 1 than, or ring 1 than Superfood would be. That's just kind of an objective reality of the situation. Okay, we don't get the luck there. We do want the greed, though. Ooh, I got a subscriber. Gunnar Kreitz, thanks for subscribing. Let's go ahead and just guarantee the death of that guy. And we'll put that there. Early game jack strips, hard to deny it's pretty good, right? I think we just go here. I could have like put the guy down there and Immortal traded it, but there is a backliner ring, wave 1 here. Alright, we'll do that. Pretty... Whoop, we're killing that guy, right? Okay. Pretty straightforward from here on out. Just do that. Nothing else we can do. And... crazy that we're, having such trouble here, but yeah, we still make it through. I think I'm fine with the trial skip there. It's just gold. So I think as much as I want the Space Rhythm, I can't remember what I took last time, but I think we gotta take the morsels. You know, it's Umbra, and this is just what we gotta do. Um, Last time I took the Bog Fly, it was done echoed. Of course, the proc wasn't. I just don't like this Bog Fly unit. I don't think it really adds much. I could see skip here. Could do the proc. I don't like an uninfused proc. Maybe we need it to help us, though. Right now I don't really have any big reasons to do much with echoes. I guess we can take it. I mean, we do need help with damage, so we have to go this way, unfortunately. We check this. We see Endless. We wish we had an egg. And health. And then there you go. You literally throw up at this point, and you start crying into your own pile of puke. Because these are the most worst units in the game. You start to think, well, at least train stewards aren't a priority draw, which could be a good thing over them. That's something. Generally, the train steward infusion could be better because it gives 5 more health. But yeah, we'd probably take a unit here. Kidding aside. I hate these units. They're so bad now. I took Collector last time. I think it probably still makes sense to do so. I think generally it's gonna have a better time. Like, Crucible Warden just loses its damage shield, so by the time the boss comes around, it just is a horribly statted, single striking, 0 utility unit. Whereas at least the Crucible may, if you're lucky with your plinks, or the pack of morsels, it may have lifesteal stacked up. If you're lucky. I think we just lock in these now. Cheap upgrades. It's about all you can ask for. There's not much good for Collector. You know, multi-strike almost doesn't help it. Large Stone helps and doesn't help it, because again, you can't feed it. So just some nice stat upgrades. That's about all you can ask for here. I think we hold the gold, because it's pretty obvious if we don't get a unit draft here, we have to hit another steal up. And we have to, you know, fight another thing. I think given that Morsel Gen is primary to everything here, instead of putting it on the proc, I would put it on a plink here. At least then we have a chance. -2 doesn't look too good to me. And obviously we have nothing to engage with because we had no unit draft. That's the beauty of a Ring 2 Divine Temple. It's completely RNG based, or unless you really want to do a Steward infusion. So yeah, like I said, this seed sucks. We do get a unit draft here though, so no questions asked. We have to do this. We live or die by it. When you get such a bad banner, you really just want to get something better. So we have a choice on what to kill here. Unfortunately, there's a spell shield here. I could prep it, but there is also the jack strips, so I'm like, I could hit that, or I could hit this. I might as well hit that, right, and actually do some damage. And we could put the steward here, I guess. It's gonna die most likely no matter where we put it, because they have extra damage, right? So we could get an extra feed here. We could try to also luck out and break the spell shield and get an extinguish here. I don't know if that's... I mean, we might get hosting kin next turn, but we also might just get the piercing plink. I mean, they're going to die to jack strips anyway. I think we just plink here, see what happens. We at least break that damage shield. We could be really greedy and try to plink here again. I mean, we might lose the collector, we might not. If I could get an extra morsel here, it might be nice. I think it's worth the risk. We got it. And I'll be honest, I didn't know. My memory's not good enough to know if a particular plink was going to hit or not. I think I do that anyway. Obviously, plink not making a whole lot of sense here, other than we just want to get some echoes up here. Now I got the choice of, I could just Void Binding at this point. Then I can kill him. I think it makes sense to Void Binding here. How are you not dying? Oh, right, because I killed that first. I think we Void Binding this. Then we can kill this, and we don't care too much about this. Let's go ahead and do that. Just get some damage in there. I can see arguments that we don't necessarily want it in the back here. Oh, this will be nice, though. We could do that. I might as well wait on it, though. And we might as well do this, too. Right? That pretty much solidifies victory. And actually, this doesn't matter, because he'll kill any morsels that come in. But we got him, so it's good. I mean, if there's any ring Crucible Collector would shine on, it would be this one. Now, this feels bad to not take the Space Prism, but considering I can't really hit a Merchant of Magic up in the near future, I mean, I could hit this one if I want to. I think this has got to be the choice, making of a morsel. This is a pretty easy choice to take Bounding here. Okay, now we got some choices. I took Carver last time. It's okay. I think I can win. Beat Ring 3 on the back of Crucible Collector still. Especially since I now have Making of a Morsel. That'll help a little bit. As long as I don't get screwed on the sweeping turn. And I'll be honest, I don't remember exactly what happens. Obviously, we know at some point the Kinhost Pipe shows up. Which, you know, I think last time I put Carver into it, which is okay. I think the Kinhost Carapace is pretty good into it. If I remember correctly, we never found an Endless upgrade, which obviously, if you've watched my shit lately, I'm pretty big on Endless Eggs. And with the Bounding Echoes, it wouldn't be unreasonable to try Endless Eggs, even with a pupa that has that larger hatch. Endless Eggs might be one way to victory. I just honestly can't remember. And honestly, I'm trying to think of the perspective of not knowing what's in the future. Would I ever just take Kinhost Carapace? Because I know it's a really good ring, like 2 through 4 unit. Just get a few echoes going. Even if you don't play it the first time around, you can play it the second time around, and it's gigantic. And it will help you kill the bosses and units and stuff. Then again, you can almost argue the same for Carver. If you're actually focusing on Carver enough, it should get you through the early game, and it has a good infusion almost in all cases. Whereas Kinhost really just is a good infusion for eggs. It's not that good otherwise, and particularly Endless Eggs. It's still okay for a non-Endless Egg. You're still getting 20/20 at no downside. Which isn't insane, but it's good. It's solid. I think it's better than what I ended up doing, which costs me an extra pip. And really, with how little I was infusing, I wasn't even necessarily getting more than 20/20 worth of stats, especially when you lose the armor on the initial go-through, right? Huh. I'm going to try the Carapace. I can't remember if I get Endless on Eggs or not, but if I do, I'm going to try that. Try to switch it up a bit. So let's take a look here. Shitstone. Let's see what we get here. This is unfortunate, isn't it? Last time I skipped here, I could see maybe taking Morsel Master. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, though. It's like Maker would make sense, because then you just, you fit these two on the floor, you put Maker behind, and it fits on the floor, and then just starts making stuff. Master obviously doesn't work because we have no Space Prism. I could still take Morsel Master, thinking maybe I get offered an Umbra here, and then I can set up a 2-floor setup, and then Morsel Master can be pretty good with them. Like a making of a, I will say when you have making of a morsel master becomes a bit more enticing. I could also see the argument that I just don't use primordium um, with the collector, and I just try for morsel master. It's possible that with the upgraded plink, the pack morsels, and the making of a morsel, that might be better just to put morsel master behind. I'm going to take it anyway because I do think it's worth a shot here. Obviously, what I did before didn't work, so it's worth giving it a try. And I think as far as upgrades, we can just give it these basic upgrades just to help us right now. We can also infuse it into a unit, and then it's basically the same as like having its effect. And then it could fit, with primordium and whatnot. It's also going to help with the shadow box, so I think it's also an argument there. I think we keep this gold. Can't remember what I did last time, actually. Did I do manual or hammer? I think I did hammer. I could see reasons for manual. I mean, it's plated Daedalus, so there's no haste. Ring form might be haste. I honestly don't remember if it is or not. So if we get middle, it's not like the end of the world. Bottom would suck. Umbra does not like to set up bottom, in my experience. Honestly, they like to set up top, but then there's the problem of divinity. So then, at that fight, it doesn't like to set up top. It's a bit of a shit show, isn't it? Hammer's always going to be good. Just trying to think if maybe I can build around manual. Like, I've preserved my health pretty good, so like I might be able to leak a bit when I bottom. I basically get the 1 out of 3 on the bottom. You're almost certainly going to leak. But if, I don't know, hammer's probably fine. All I really need is that 1 extra space up top, and now I can actually fit primordium collector and morsel maker on the same floor. I think we'll just take that. Frozen Nostalgia would be interesting too, because then my plinks hit like a truck. I don't know if we take that. I'm going to take that. I'm probably not going to do the Merchant of Magic is my guess. It's just hard for me to justify going that route and maybe getting what I want. I will say I didn't go this route last time, so maybe I do find a consumer move there. Or a holdover or something. Well, let's think this out. So, consumer move. That would be good on Pact. Holdover. That would be good on Making of a Morsel. Permafrost. Could be good on... So, Pack Morsels would be great, or with Consumer Move. Making of a Morsel would be great with holdovers. That's 2 that would be great. Permafrost, there's no greats, I would say. There's okay on Void Binding or Immortal Trade, and it's okay on Bounding Echoes. What else? And then the final one would be Double Stack. I could double stack a Void Binding or an Immortal Trade. It makes it, though, so those are only really going to be played right before the boss. Double stack's probably the weakest, I would say, even though it's technically strong. So there's a 25% chance that I just don't get anything I want. There's a 75% chance that I get at least one that I want, and then a 25% chance that I get both of what I want, which would be holdover and consumer move. Is that but there's a pretty good ceiling there. You know, holdover would be amazing. That would really bring this deck to a different level. Whereas Wormkin, I don't know what I'm getting. I could also just use Kin Host. What would I do with it? I could use it just as a valuable unit on another floor if I can get up a few echoes and just put it down as some big ass unit. I do have this large stone which is okay on it, I guess. I don't know. I think we just fight. I think we either way we don't take this boons. We're gonna have 250 gold, which is fine. So we'll see if we can get a snipe here. Super lucky. And we might as well just do this there, start breaking some damage shields. Or some damage, I should say. Alright, well we can get this down. We got nothing for it right now, but we can get it down at least. I think maybe we just do this, get it out of the deck. We'll be cycling back through in this fight. Not the greatest bounding echoes, but at the same time, I don't want to draw back into it. So, let's... I know that when this damn sweeper gets to this floor is the turn I'm going to get making of a morsel. I'm already going to call it right now. That's how it's going to be. Let's just do this for the echoes up here. Well, am I going to get lucky or not? Let's start with that. Okay, at least I get one. That's all I really need, but obviously would have liked more. Let's kill that. Okay, no making of a morsel, but do I play this or not? I know we gotta do this. This one's pretty obvious. Guess you're getting through. I guess we play it and then just let those cycle back through. We're gonna need them if we're gonna beat Daedalus. Okay, at least we get this here. We definitely want that. Obviously we have nothing for planks. Let's just do this then. We're not gonna cycle through at this point. Let's do that then. I don't know why I did that. If I'm not cycling through, it didn't really make sense to do that now. Okay, I still have space for this. Let's do this. Oh, it costs 2, doesn't it? Well, that's cool. I think we'll be fine. I just got like a million lifesteal. But, you know, definitely some misplays were had. But we're through. Take 4 damage. It's not too bad. Now, I'm pretty sure here we do get an alloy or a shadow siege. Or a shadow siege or eater. I don't know, actually. So now, last time I took perfect insanity. I think now a shroud mitosis makes sense. I have a shadow box. This could start getting us toward that. It might even be potentially correct to hold this over. Not really. This actually becomes a pretty good permafrost target, I would say. There's also the argument for Kindle. Now, it is unfortunate because I do know Kindle would end up being the best choice here. But it'd be hard for me to justify Kindle at this point. You know we later do get a Shroud Spike, and since the Shroud Spike doesn't have Consume Remove, and we don't find, like, you know, Bounding Echoes, Spell Chain, or anything like that, we know that Kindle would be a win con, because we could just get a big Kindle turn, Shroud Spike up a Making of a Morsel, and that might be what our win con is. But again, that's just I think that's cheating a little bit too much to use that amount of prior knowledge. I think Shroud Mitosis in the context of where we'd be at in this run makes sense. I still think Perfect Insanity might make sense too, considering we really have no, aside from the Kinhost Carapace, we don't have much, and maybe the proc, we really don't have much use for Echoes right now. We do have Abounding Echoes, so maybe Perfect Insanity still works. I'm honestly still considering it. I'm like, is that the best? It is infused, so it only extracts 5 essentially. It would really help with killing stuff. I think though, let's stick with the morsels. If I can't win with a super morsel based deck, we can retry this one and try it with a, even though there's 2 Umbras, we could try it with some Umbra centric type deck. Now here obviously is where you see the Shadow Siege. To me, I'm like, I just don't know how you could take Shadow Siege here without, you know, like, there's so much you'd have to do to make this work. I guess you could take it saying that you'll use the infusion. That's probably the best argument I could see for it. But even, at least with my deck right now, I just don't see how I could justify that. 2 pip for, you know, some stats. Pretty tough to make work. Maybe if I took the manual. So obviously we know the sketches shows up, so that would be, if you really want to win, that's how you do it. But to me, I'm thinking Shadow Eater or Alloy. And again, I did take Alloy last time. Maybe we should still take it. But considering I don't really have AoE, well, tough thing too is like, Shadow Eater's 3 pip. I can't use Morsel Master with it and the whatever you call it, the Primordium. So even Shadow Eater might be tough for me to justify. Another tough thing is, like, we don't have a Wormkin here. I did say there's a lot of good Merchant of Magic upgrades for me, but I think we could hit that Merchant of Magic up. I think the original logic I had still maintains here because there's just so much more value on this side versus this side, and I can hit this Merchant of Magic up. This, similarly, like the Merchant of Steel has no value on this side. Anytime you see Forgotten Boons and Fire Remains, that's just such a bad ring value-wise, and you're completely dependent on either hitting on the upgrades you want or not. Obviously, you look like a genius if you get the ones you want, but then if you don't get them, it's almost a complete waste of a ring and really lowers the power level of your deck. Whereas if you hit sides where there's like guaranteed value, the low roll just isn't there. Like, there's always value with Vortex. There isn't technically always value with Artifact, but I kind of say there is. Like, even if you get a bad Artifact, it's usually adding some value to your deck at no cost. And the Wormkin banner, I think, especially considering at this point we have this Kinhost Carapace, really wants to find an egg. Even not knowing that, yes, I do get an egg there, I think we would take the left path, just all things considered. I'm finding it hard to justify a Shadow Eater, though, even though I do know it would be the better unit. I think in the context of the run, we have to take Alloy here. It's infused also, which is worth noting, right? Maybe my fear, though, would still be that I can't feel it up. I had the same fear before, and I didn't even have Making of a Morsel before, and I still took the Alloy. This is like such a key decision point in the run. This is where you make or break it. Eventually, I can put Morsel Master into Shadow Eater and then I fit it on the floor and still get my morsels. But I have to wait till then, so I have to get through this ring. If the idea is to put some Wormkin unit on the same floor, I don't know, it's tough to. We still have this Crucible Collector too, so it's like maybe I'm fretting too much over the fact that Shadow Eater is 3 pip, because I can always just put Primordium with Crucible. I mean, honestly, if my Primordium is just going to get stuck with Stalwart, because we still don't know if we're getting aggressive or not, if it's just going to get stuck with Stalwart, we probably would just want to set it with Crucible Collector and let it gain stacks for the boss fights, and then maybe focus Morsel Maker into the Shadow Eater or the Alloy. Either one works. I think we're going to do Shadow Eater. I've just been pretty high on this unit, even though this run doesn't end up being that insane. We could also just take a pip upgrade. I can see that too, but I really would like to take a draw upgrade. I think we take draw. We can take pip if we need it. We already have a pip upgrade, technically. And I do think we do stick with this logic. So last time I went with refracting. Definitely helped with how much I was leaking, but doesn't really help with the overall power value of the deck. I think it was a mistake to take refracting over lost luggage. There's just too much value to be gained there. See, there's the sketches. You get it like immediately after. But I could take Golden Vault this time. Lightstone Casing, we do know we're going to hit up some Merchant of Magics. This one for sure. Potentially this one. And almost certainly that one. I say we just take the Lightstone Casing. And then here, we see 2 units that I like, Keeper and Kinhost Vessel, but I think given that we have this Kinhost Carapace, we want to try for Kinhost Vessel. We also, we look forward. We don't know if we're hitting up any Merchant of Magics, unfortunately, or Merchant of Steels. Like, we could hit this one. There's the Caverns, but again, we're giving up a lot to do that. I can't remember what I did last time. I think I hit it up. We'll see. And I don't remember what the upgrades were anyway. But yeah, we got to take this anyhow. We have support for it. You know, we have Echo Gen. I could see the argument for removing Crucible Collector at this point. We have so many banner units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know it's not going to infuse into anything. Whereas the Morsel Master is probably going into Shadow Eater, and the Kinhost is getting Kinhosted. I think we can remove this. It might help us get through the next rings, which is tough, but I don't know. I don't like seeing it. I think we just remove it. And then we can remove a Steward, probably. Pray for aggressive. We don't get it. So now, a bit of a tough situation, right? We never hit on Echo Transfer or Echo Infusion. We never hit on, Ember Drain. So it's again, bit of a nightmare of a seed, right? It's tough because like I recently did my tier list, and looking at I didn't want to put Primordium at the S rank specifically for runs like this. I thought Little Fade kind of just deserved her own tier of S and nothing else should share it. The tough part was when I consolidated it with my data, it was hard to deny just the crazy win rate of Primordium. It was like it had by far the most positive win rate of the most positive effect on win rate of any champ. It wasn't even close. That's why I still put Primordium in the S tier, but unlike Little Fade, you either go Endless or you go Firelight. Obviously Icarus is good, but the thing about Endless and Firelight is they will never be bad. Whereas here, my Primordium kind of sucks, right? No matter what I do here, I'm not getting that much value out of Primordium. Again, I guess if I fail this run, I'll try a Superfood run where I do Void Binding and try to just hit every Merchant of Magic and zero cost everything. That's my only other thought. But But for now, I think we commit to Stalwart. It's just there as to trigger Gorge procs. The only thing Superfood really gets me is extra health. We do maybe wish we had visited that before the removal, because we might have wanted to keep Collector for this fight. I think we're fine to do a Mark of Invasion, right? That's pretty easy gold, even if we pay a little bit of fire health. I mean, we don't pay any fire health actually because of jack strips. So, we have a decision to make here. Do we want to pair Shadow Eater with Morsel Master? Or do we want to pair it with Primordium? Or do we want to put the egg on the floor? I mean, how are we going to kill these big guys, right? I think, though, it's tough because Plinks are not going to get us anything in this fight, right? So really the only time we generate morsels is making of a morsel and a one-time pack morsel. Plink, if we're lucky. We do have a Mitosis. It actually looks like we should be putting down Primordium this fight. Just get that guaranteed at least proc there. And actually, since our morsel gen is going to be so bad here, we might want to just put the Kinhost Vessel in. I think this makes sense. And we'll just try to get some echoes. I think that's probably the plan this fight. So every time we can get echoes here, we should try. Unfortunately, this is a really fucking bad bounding echoes. We could also have this help us, but we're going to have to wait for a bit. Man, this really is a bad banding echoes, isn't it? I don't know that we can afford to just draw back into it, though, unfortunately. So, we'll just do this. Can I do this? Damn. We could get an extra echo there. It might actually make sense. I think it makes sense. We don't have much to spend Ember on. Just depends on our draw order here, I guess. So we can do that, and I guess just that. We're going to take some hits here. Well, this might be a quick one. God damn. This is really the problem here. It's like, what can you even do? I don't think this is going to work. I could reload the fight, and maybe there's a weird path to victory. I don't know. It's crazy that only 40 shards get you this for this fight. Alloy would have been the better call here for sure. We probably would have survived with Alloy, but I'm going to try, I'm just going to try it again from the start. I'm going to do what we were talking about with the Void Binding. I'm just curious of it as a strategy. So basically just zero cost the Void Binding and try to utilize Superfood. I'm wondering if it is a legit strategy to do this, essentially saying, I will hit every Merchant of Magic on this run. I will zero cost everything that I can, even though I'm not getting a banner here. Maybe the thought is Superfood Primordium should be able to, with Void Binding, use a Steward to get through Ring 2. I could see that. And yeah, basically just zero cost everything. Hope we hit a good banner here. Hope we get unit drafts. I think it's worth a shot. So we'll do Superfood. I think, given that we're going Merchants of Magic and not really doing Merchant of Steel, I think Jackstrip still makes sense. I don't know about taking this, though, to be honest. I think Dun Echo here, the original logic applies. And I think since we have superfood, we can do this. I did it, I'm pretty sure, the other time I did it. So we do start with the Void Binding turn 1 here. I say we just do it. Do that as well. Any reason to plink? This guy's gonna die before it hits the pyre because of jack strips anyhow. So if anything, we should probably just kill that. Actually, no, that was stupid. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. Looks like we luck out here anyhow. We'll just do that. And then we won't take any pyre damage. I mean, obviously right there it looks pretty strong. That would definitely get us through ring 2, so... The only thing that sucks is if I turn 1 Void Binding and I don't get a Train Steward, ring 2 will not be possible. And honestly, I don't know. We'll see. So we want 0 cost stuff. We know we have Umbra coming up, but this is just not going to work, I don't think. Prismal Dust could work. What about Space Prism? Does Space Prism even do anything for us? I think if the thought is Void Binding... I don't know. Maybe Pack Morsels is still the proper call here. I mean, that could help us out a little bit. I think it is Pack Morsels here. Proc could work. It sure hasn't been doing jack fuck all for me in these runs, though. Bogfly might be the better one. That would actually give us an additional unit to draw into this next fight. I did take it in the original run. I say we take it. It's going to help with ring 2 since we're planning on the Merchant of Magic here, which goes against everything I believe in, but I just want to know, maybe if I see Superfood and Void Binding early on, I just want to know if this is just a path I could take every time, right? Permafrost on Void Binding, all it does is protect against the turn 1 draw. I don't think it's worth doing it for that. We'd rather 0 cost it and hold it over. That's what we'd want to do. Well, we can Surge Stowed one of these. We obviously know we want to do this, so let's lock that in anyway. We should have, though... Oh, there's the holdover, okay. We should have checked this, though, probably. But I don't think that changes much, so we'll hold this over. That's already super powerful. And we prioritize Emberstone over the other stuff. We want to be able to play this shit once we're at 0. Now the question is, do I want to Fracture or do I want to Plink? I think the Fracture right now makes sense. I can target something and kill it. A backliner. Also just get my Echoes up for free. It's replayable, so I think I like that there. 10 in Piercing. I still think it's probably good on a Plink. Maybe I should have 0 costed this then. Oops, but I think we still do this. And then obviously we don't really do an Engage Pact. Hard enough at 40 shards that ring 4 it is, so... Well, we get an absolute worst possible fucking thing. We get the fucking Void Binding. You know what, though? This is fine. We're going to put you up here. I can't avoid Ember Drain, unfortunately. But what I can do is do this and keep this on holdover. And this still dies, so I don't get Ember Drained. We can do this. I can get one of these ready. Might as well. And then I don't think we want to redraw into that. Maybe we do, I don't know. Now we get a unit that we can put down. We can start doing this, we can start doing that. And we can either try for luck here. But we know where well, we don't know that we're killing this. I think we go for the luck here. Well, we already have a thing down. I think I would, even though I do remember, my memory's good now. I remember this Plink would work out for us. I think we do this. I think it'd be the smart play. Now here, I could go here. Because right now 21's not enough to kill this guy. I could put this guy down. That's probably more what I want to do. Then I kill everything and I can still stack this way. Really just guarantee this boss will get killed. As we'll do, we could do, this guy's gonna die to the boss anyway. We only really wanted him for that extra hit. And I think we could do this if we wanted to. I don't think I want to though. And that'll definitely get us there. So I don't know, we'll be okay for a while on this void binding, but we do kind of need to figure out a plan otherwise. Again, I just don't know what the space prism gets us. Even the prismal dust, I don't know what it gets us. We're most likely ember drained every turn, so... I mean, I know we're probably committing to this, even though in the back of my mind I know it's a trash offering here as well. I think where I could justify this, it'd be hard for me to justify not hitting this. Start trying to think, like, would I take Making of a Morsel? I think so. I think still in my mind I'm like, well, it's an Umbra unit. And also, when at this point you know you're not getting Ember Drain, right? Like, you didn't get a Perils, you didn't get Mind Collapse. The zero cost has to happen at this point. And really, Making of a Morsel might even be, oddly enough, a way out of Ember Drain if I get Hell's Banners. Pretty hard for me to not take a Bounding Echoes here, even if I have no real reason for it. I could take another Bogfly, but I could get this, for instance. Bounding Echoes just too good here. Now I'm like, okay. I could justify not going Umbra here now. Even though I'd still probably want to hit the steel up. I'm trying to think, what Hellvents do I even have that are that good? I mean, I could Hellvent the Void Binding. Just so I find it sooner. It would be nice to not have to rely on an Umbra unit. Because they're so bad. Other than a few of them. Like Alloy and whatnot. I mean, this, it's like... if I really wanted to be cheesy, it's the Carapace, because I know what comes up at the Wormkin. I don't know how I could justify Kinhost Carapace here, though, because, again, you only see one Wormkin banner. I justified it last time. I still don't know if I would ever take Carapace over Shard Soul Carver. I think we just take a Carver here. That unit's pretty damn good, and I don't think we can justify Hellvent either. I think we would want to try to find a multi-strike. Because if we find a multi-strike on Carver, that unit's good enough for us to get through the game. Maybe we find a Furnace Tap, even though I know we don't. We see Shitstone, we know that's just not happening. We take a look here. Now I feel pretty safe just not taking these. Fuck them. They're horrible. I think we would want to reroll and see what comes up. It's a quick. I could probably justify a quick. So we'll do a quick. We also don't know if Shard Soul's going to be our unit. So we do this. It's going to be hard for me to just justify this magic. I did say that we want to get everything like zero costed, but at this point it actually doesn't matter since we're not really using an Umbra unit. Like these plinks don't need to hit. I don't really need to do much other than just play Void Binding, and maybe I take a pip upgrade and fit the Bogfly down. I think we still go this route for the same reasons we've always gone that route. I could add an upgrade here, I guess, since I'm not spending money. Like, I could put that down, but right now, a 3-pip unit, I can't actually fit the fly on the floor, so I don't care. Well, now I can fit the fly on the floor, right? I can't take Nostalgia, because I can't fit Shard Soul with the Primordium, unless I just don't care. I could see arguments for that. I could see manual working here, because now I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, if I don't hit multi-strike, manual still doesn't work 1/3 of the time. If you go mid, you still don't have enough to play Carver. Plus, a second Carver is okay. I think we still take the Rail Forger Hammer. I think that just makes too much sense. The manual's too unpredictable, and we really do need a top floor setup. We're just not going to get it done otherwise. Now that I have the extra space, would I do this? Maybe. Maybe I would. I suppose since I don't have multi-strike, this does make sense. Just get that Bogfly in there to help with damage. Follow-up damage is probably necessary. My Primordium's hitting pretty hard too while it's in there, but at a certain point you lose the Primordium, right? Oh, we can cheat this out, so we'll do that. And, I mean, they're all dying. We might as well get a free Inspire here. Apparently a free Morsel, too. I'll be down to draw back into that. By the time I draw back into it, Primordium will be eaten up. So we at least get some stacks here, so that's good. Probably we just want damage on him to try to kill these tanks and stuff. I'm still down to redraw into these. They're 0 costs. I'm not down to redraw into that, though. Let's put one here and here. We're pretty confident that Daedalus is going to get beat. We just don't want to leak any damage if we can help it. Put one more stack there. So we're pretty confident that we'll kill this guy with the frontliner here. But the backliner does need some help. Bogfly would help with that right on time. Let's see. Eventually we should get... I think we want to do this. We want to start building it up. All I have to do is find a free... Like, if I find this next turn, I should be able to kill the frontliner just based on a few Inspires. If not, then I guess we're just SOL. Looks like we'll have just enough here. So we put it here, because I'm getting to 72, because of now that it's inspired. Now I can kill everything. And I think at this point... I mean, we might as well do the back. I think that makes sense. We're destroying everything from here on out anyway. But I think it does actually make sense to stack the back up at this point. And we got him. Another thing I didn't think about is technically Kindle could be a way out of Ember Drain, but you'd have to hit everything. Like by everything I mean, you'd have to get the X cost, or a minus the X cost artifact, or a -2 on the Divine Temple upgrade, and then you'd have to get like Consume Remove, and then like a holdover. There's just so many things you'd need for that to work. I could see skip here. I mean, Perfect Insanity could work. Perfect Insanity probably makes sense. But I will say, if you remember, my Inspires were pretty weak. I would have to 0 cost it, obviously. I still think we want to go this route. We need like a good infusion at the very least for our Shard Soul, which we don't have right now. I just don't know what we take here. Do we take Perfect Insanity or do we just skip? I mean, knowing how this run goes, it's the right choice. I think I could take it. I mean, I took it the first time I did it with similar Echo Gen. I think we take it. In these type of decks, and then when I see these, I'm like, I could alloy, but given that I'm void binding, not really generating morsels, I just can't justify it. And I don't have the space for Shadow Siege. I think we skip here. So at this point, I could take a pip upgrade. I could. Even though I already have a pip upgrade. Like if I don't know. I think draw just makes more sense. You know, just draw into that void binding sooner. As we also don't know what we're getting. Like, are we getting a stalwart stack? We don't know that. I think also with my low gold, I just have no reasons to go to that Merchant of Magic. We just hit the next one up just the same as the other times. Lightstone, I think, has to happen here. Right? I don't see any... Like, the Golden Vault, maybe. That could be a legit one. If our worries are the waves... Our worries are not the bosses, it's the waves. Just trying to think what triple... I mean, we know we're hitting up so many Merchant of Magics, right? That's what we're doing from here on out. We hit that one up. We don't hit that many up, do we? We just hit like maybe 3 or 2 more up. Maybe Golden Vault is the answer. I don't know. I want money for the next fight is a problem, and I'd be really worried to just throw all my money away. Not for the next fight, but the next ring. I think we take the Lightstone. And here, we have to take Luggage. Luggage is just like, we get to that void binding sooner. The sooner we get there, the better. I think at this point we would want to check this first. We see Stalwart, easy choice there. Now we get to really cash in on that void binding. And then at this point, I think the Kin Host is a super easy take here. Even though I have Quick on the Shard Soul, right now I still have Shard Soul since I can't merge. The Kin Host gives us the biggest thing we're looking for here, which is multi-strike. Now I will say, we may be hard-pressed. We might have to try to fit a Steel in somewhere. I think right here is where we can fit the Merchant of Steel in, and we can survive till then. Because it sucks having just a 0-on-1, and we obviously want some extra upgrades, but luckily there are so many upgrades that would be good for this. Literally any upgrade is good for this. Large Stone, Endless, Quick, or Multi-Strike will all be good here. So we just got to survive this ring, and we should be good. Let's get rid of Stewards and just keep going, yeah. I think we would still take the Mark of Invasion, and just, we're a bit sad if we start with Kin Host, but for this fight, we're fine, I think, with... Another thing that does suck about this is, if we can't hatch it fast, it's awkward as fuck. It is truly awkward. We're still kind of fucked, if I'm being honest, but I think we have to take this for the money anyway. And honestly, we're going to have a hard time hatching this bitch. I think for this fight, we're better off with the Shard Soul Carver. I'll just have to leak some. Question is, do I put the egg on the floor, or do I put the fly on the floor? I could put the fly on the floor and we're probably good. Like I can do that follow-up in the very back. I like fly here. And we should try to get our echoes up on this floor. I'm down to redraw into those for the relentless rounds. Alright, there's our void binding, so we start stacking that. We should try to just fuck this floor up. That hit pretty well, actually. Alright, we're good now. I'm down to just let the pack morsels be the pack morsels. This is pretty big here. We'll start getting echoes. Just move that one back. I'm not sure how to handle this one. I think we'll get a decent enough damage, I guess, just by doing this. Looks like actually we're doing good here, so let's just do this. That kills that. Might as well stack that there, and let's do the same here. Look how much better this is going. Stack again. Stack again. Can't really play anything else. So, this fight is obviously going amazingly. I'm just thinking to myself right now, like, I'm just thinking about, did I game the system too much to make this happen? With my normal thought process, yes. What I mean by that is, like, generally, I would never give up a banner and a steal to go for no banner and a merchant of magic. But I think what I'm testing out here, maybe I'm kind of rationalizing this to myself too much. But my thought on what I've basically tested here is, in a superfood start, can I just really go for zero cost holdover void binding? Here's the thing though, if I didn't get holdover there, how much different would this run be, you know? I don't know, it's just tough. It's like, this comes back to the Sketches Shadow Siege type thing. Granted, I didn't know if I'd get holdover here. If I didn't though, it would be a really tough run still. I don't know, it's tough to say. Obviously, Engineer Upgrade's useless for us. Even Forever Consume is pretty useless for us. I guess if I put Ember upgrades on it, it wouldn't be bad, but I already kind of want to just get other spells down to 0. Prism Retrieval's probably no good. Yeah, this is just a skip. Forgotten Trade is not bad. Now this is a card I can definitely take. Since we're hitting the Merchant of Magic up, this becomes very enticing to go this route now. We have a lot of upgrades we want, so we'll just try for them. We'll check this first. Okay, -2. Not the greatest, but we might just want to start locking those in, even if it essentially just means -1. Now we're a bit sad that we don't have a 4th slot here, right? Like, obviously that's not going to work. Because I can't play it at that amount. I could do that. Even that's iffy. It's pretty unnecessary, I would say. 10 magic power. Here, I'd be down to do this, I suppose, and just make that one 0. So that's a good play. We want to get the Perfect Insanity down probably as well to 0 so we can actually play it. There's the Eternal Stone. I say we put that right there. I think that enables a lot of this deck to happen now. I say we bring it back down to 0, because obviously we need to do that. 10, I could add a 10 to one of these is probably best. And I should remove a Steward at this point. We also know that based on the map, like, maybe we should have held the gold, because we do have the option of going steel here, which maybe we should do. Oops. Well, hopefully we get offered gold here. We might not. Anyway, if we don't get offered gold, we probably should just go this route. There's not much for us there if we don't have gold. Probably didn't need to make that. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is actually unfortunate because I fucked this up. Oh, that's so unfortunate. I should have made my infusion first, because now this microstone doesn't mean anything. If that makes sense. So just to... So sad. So sad. So just to say what I'm basically experiencing here is... I was gonna put this Shard Soul Carver into Kinhost. Which increases the pip. Unfortunately, if I make the unit 1 pip and do that, it doesn't keep me at 1 pip. I can't tell you how sad I am. I'm really fucking sad. Oh, that's so sad. Well, we can do this, I guess, which is horrible, by the way. 2 for that. Let me think of this. I mean, I got what? 6 pip on top. This takes up 2 pip. I could technically put that onto Kinhost Vessel if I don't want to do the Shard Soul Infusion. Then I just get 30-30. That could be justifiable. They really need to fix the major refraction, though. It's not nearly enough stats for 2 fucking pip. You get more health. You get like double the health from just a large stone. And yeah, this does give double damage technically, which is good, but for 2 pip, this should just be a 1 pip in my opinion. Or if it's going to be 2 pip, at least have it beyond the level of a fucking Shadow Siege Infusion. Or close to it. It's just ridiculously shitty. Whereas this one is amazing. I'm trying to think how else I could do this. Like I could make the Shard Soul Carver be 1 pip here and not do my infusion yet and Hellvent it and then do the infusion. Then I just have a 1 pip Shard Soul to back up the Kinhost. I could see that working. I mean, in that case, I have a dude that's quick and is 1 pip behind it. I'm kind of down for that. I kind of like it. Let's do it. So I just won't do my infusion yet, which is fine because Ring 5 is a fucking nightmare. And if I can go into it with lower shards, that's good. Let's get rid of the last steward here and start to think what else we want to remove. Like, we really don't need the making of a morsel, I think. Like, we could. I suppose here's another thing. I mean... What if I just said fuck it to the Kinhost Vessel and start building a floor of 1 pip Shard Soul Carvers? I mean, the one in the front will obviously be the big one, but if I can inspire enough, eventually they'll get big enough. And if I give them all Strike Reap 1 to everybody, or maybe just that, with the Bogfly Infusion, what would be better? I mean, let's say I have 4 to 5 echoes on a turn. That's an extra just 4 to 5. That's not that good. It's like 4 to 5 damage times 3. It's okay. I mean, I will definitely clear out all the small units, and I'll be probably good until the Divinity fight. It's just that Divinity fight's going to be a fucking nightmare. Because those triple tank waves, triple to quadruple tanks, aren't really going to get dented by that. And I'll have to have a way to kill the Wiltwing before it gets to me, or at least before the front guy attacks. Would alternatively just giving myself 5 extra damage per echo be better? Get a little bit of health. 5 per echo, that's just an extra like 20 or so damage. Plus, you know, for what it's worth, Chase doesn't really have the reap stick and removes the reap, even though it doesn't matter too much since I'm top floor most likely. This Kinhost infusion really does suck, doesn't it? I could also just remove the goddamn Kinhost from the deck and just go Carvers. At that point, this is probably the better infusion for them. And rely on Perfect Insanity to take out those extra waves. I kind of like that, to be honest. We could just remove the Kinhost right now. We have the Vortex. It's kind of hard to get the Kinhost to work anyway, and it's removing our echoes. Alright, I'm committed. I'm committed. Let's do it. So let's remove Kinhost. And that's the final there. I can make this infusion now. There's probably no reason not to. Other than... Then again, there's not a reason... There's not big reason to do it right now, actually. I might as well wait till then to do it. Like I said, Ring 5 is a fucking nightmare. I'm giving myself 25 shards by doing this. If the plan is to go here in Hellvent, we already know we don't get Firestone Housing, so there's really no reason to even think about steals. Like, because we gave it up for Jack Strips. I think we don't infuse now. We infuse here, we Hellvent. That's the plan. What about Intrinsic? I could Intrinsic this. Why not? That gets us guaranteed to get going right from the fucking get-go. Fuck yeah, let's do that. And -2... It's tempting. It's tempting. Like, I don't know, though. Like... What would I do it on? How many more Divine Temples do we got? Like 2 more? Like, it's only good if I spell chain like a Fracture, I think. It's 15 shards to take, like I said. This next fight is a nightmare. I think we don't take it. Let's just fight. Is there anything here I could take? Nope. Alright, let's fight. Ooh, that's a tough one. These dudes are an absolute nightmare. I mean, I'm killing the little guys with Jack Strips. The big ones won't die. These tanks are going to have 160 health. I don't know if we can take this. I'll crush this boss, of course. Every boss is not going to do shit to me. We get this from the get-go, but we're really limited in what else we can play from the start. I have 1 Fracture I can play. I have a Forgotten Trait every now and then I can play. I don't need... Until I get echoes, I don't really have echoes being generated. It's a tough call. I can play the Hosting Kins. Those will at least take out, you know, the sharded up marksmen. But if the marksmen come up and the oh man, I mean, I'll be able to kill the tanks. I don't think we can do this. I don't think we can do it. We'll find out if I should attend it, but I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have, so we don't really care about the Ember Drain, like, situation here because we're doing this. I might be down to hold that. We might as well bust those, though. We can do that. And we could just do this for some echoes, I guess. I'd hold that, though. It's a 0 cost, so it's useful to us. Okay, we definitely want this. That's super good. Obviously, we play that. This will kill this, so we should do that. Oh, wait, what? Oh, right. I thought for some reason I was thinking the Bounding Echoes gave it like an extra echo. Well, that was a waste, but it's probably not the biggest deal. It might be fine to just have an echo here in case there's some reason we need it. Okay, this is an okay turn. We can do this. Let's see, how is this going to shake out? Oh my lord, this is... It's insane how much health these guys have. It's only 60 shards. Let's do that. I'm glad I didn't take the trial. As you can see, this is not good at all. How much health do you have? You have fucking 136 health. So I can't even... Look at that. From the very start of this game, I was stacking Void Binding, and it's not even enough to kill this guy. It's ridiculous. I think this Clip Defender can be fucking scaled back, honestly. It's pretty fucking ridiculous. Oh my god. Okay, now I can... Okay, well, maybe I could have took... Who knowed I would have got that, though, right? Who knowed? Who knew, even? We'll save that for later. We probably could have took the trial, given how this went, but we got pretty lucky there with the order that we drew the cards, shall we say. We might as well just do this up here for the extra damage, but yeah, we're good. So we could have took the trial. But, you know, you never know. You never know. Let's give you some lifesteal. I would have laughed if I still died. But no, I think 32 damage shield's probably enough. Well, obviously these won't work. And again, they're too expensive for this deck. Maybe an Ancient Resonance is worth taking. I can play it if the turn I do Forgotten Trade. If I'm fortunate enough to get a holdover on Forgotten Trade, then I can start taking cards like that. But we're guaranteed at least it will be useless for this fight. I have to hit this up, which I probably will. It's probably worth a shot. Then again, that's a trinkets and a removal, I don't know. Flat AoE might be nice. But I think for now, it's too speculative of a pick to justify. Alright, now we can start taking this deck where it needs to be. I think this probably... It really doesn't matter. Like, these actually really don't matter to me, if you think about it. Like, I guess maybe the Hammered's better. I'm trying to think, because... No, maybe Chain of Gems is better. Either way, it's like, with my Void Bindings and stuff... Chain of Gems is better in the case that I don't draw all my Soul Carvers at once. Then at least the secondary ones do get, you know, some love. Let's see. Yeah, I think we want to do this. Unless the other option is I Hellvent. No, we got to do this. I think we just need as many of these one space ones as possible. And 30 power. I don't know that I can take that. This can probably be used on one of these. They're pretty damn unnecessary. I don't need either of these for the deck. Is it worth a Purge Stone, though? That's 10 shards. I don't know that it's worth 10 shards. Now, obviously, this is the Hellvent we got to make. Now we got 2 of these guys. We're going to be Hellventing again. That'll be 15 more shards minimum. I'll almost certainly take that. Another 15 shards. I don't know that we can take 10 shards to remove, but you know what? Fuck it, let's do it. Maybe it ends up being okay. When I have the Void Binding right from the start, there's just zero reason for the, I guess we can keep another one just to keep the other Shard Souls alive if we go top against Divinity. I can see that. We might as well put it down first to get the extra damage shield if for some weird reason we need that. Okay, if you say so, game. If you say so. Might as well do that. I don't really want to reap my own stuff. Just do that. That's an issue. You think I would have thought of that. You think I would have thought of that. Well, that's an issue. Yep, we gotta hit the Merchant of Magics up, boys. Wow, I am an idiot. I am so dumb. Just gonna walk away with my tail between my legs here. Actually insane how dumb I am. Literally insane. Well, that is pretty unfortunate, but it won't really matter. We're just going to keep that going. In the grand scheme of things, that doesn't matter. Fortunately, we don't have our double hit here now. That's kind of sucks, but... I really have to, like, either hold over or at the very least permafrost this. Permafrost could work. This is certainly unfortunate, though. We might just be dead here. We'll see. Alright, I'm gonna reload this one. I want to see if I can make this work. Like, this is pretty... Like I said, this is just a nightmare of a seed. Unless, of course, you do Shadow Siege sketches. You know what's interesting? Did I not take this? I feel like I didn't see sketches this time around. Oh well. Obviously sketches with this would work too. I can generally justify sketches with carvers. Should have thought of that more. That could be an option too. I don't know, we'll see. Can't really fit Primordium on the floor though. So how are we going to do this? We would have to like somehow hit this plank. Can I get to 5 here? 1, 2, 3. No. I can't. Even with a goddamn lost luggage, I can't get to 5. With a done echo, by the way. That's how ridiculous this run's been. So just to reiterate, I have 10 fucking cards here. This is infused, so I only need 5. I can't even get there. I could if I... The problem is, like, I could get there with Plink, because I can get 1 with Fracture, 2 with Fracture, 3 with Forgotten Trade, 4 with Sargel Carver, but my thought is I could get this Plink if I can Perfect Insanity one of these first. But even so, like, I'd have to Plink first. We know that the Plink doesn't hit this guy, so it just is all a moot point. It's insane. Like, I can't even generate... It's just a fucked deck, a fucked seed. There's just so many ways it's just a nightmare. I think what we're going to have to do is just let this go, because I can't afford to not play the second Shard Soul Carver. I also don't even know if... I could do this first. I don't even know if I want to do that because of the Ember Drain. Let's just do this. It doesn't really matter. I can't even like purge this out. It's so ridiculous. I say we just plink here, and we can do this. Just do like, I mean this, the middle guy dies to jack strips. I guess that's all we do then. I guess I could have void binding him. Could have worked. Fucked that up. Should have done this first. Oh well. Let's get damage. That's what we need. I think we got to throw these out because we want to draw back into void binding. Do that. And just try to get some inspires up here. At least now I can inspire the floor more since I have all December. I think we can justify this probably. I think we gotta inspire this floor though, otherwise. There's the nightmare floor. Pretty sick bounding echoes if I do say so myself. Man, that incant can't come at a worse fucking time. I'm gonna let the bounding echoes come back because I really do want that void binding to be bounding echoed if I can help it. Doesn't look like I can really help it. So we don't get a single goddamn stack of anything here. It's pretty much a fucking nightmare. Let's do that at least so we can get this shit out of here. Out of the deck. Well, we could still beat Arcus if we can get void binding in a reasonable amount of time. We of course had to draw through the entire deck to the bottom to find it. Which obviously sucks. And then we get this on a horrible turn. It's pretty much a fucking nightmare. Can't even like plink down there reliably. Might as well just kill that guy. Do this for the inspires. Though maybe we'd have been better off trying to kill this one. It's not where I needed it to hit, but whatever. We might be dead again. What a nightmare. What a fucking nightmare. Whatever. We want the void bindings up here at this point. This is the rage fell reverse of difficulty bullshit. Should be fine here. But god, that just what a nightmare. Would have been nice for eggs. Wormkin etchings any good? Could get me a forgotten trade back, but I mean, not really. Kindle, again, just not really usable. Fuck me, right? So, pip or draw? Probably draw, right? Since if we have that happen, we gotta draw back into the motherfucker. Maybe pip, though. I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to get the fucking shard souls down. And let's just do draw. Pretty sure we gotta go for the holdover on the thing. If we don't find holdover, we're dead. I am not double stacking any of that. No way, no how. Let's get this down to 0 at least. That should help. I don't even know if that's worth my money. Oh, man. What a goddamn sad state of affairs. I could lock in the permafrost now. Let's see what we got here. I doubt this is any good. I mean, if I got I guess if I have Forgotten Trade permafrosted, maybe this works. It at least makes the permafrost less sad than not finding holdover. Because I could combo it with a Shroud Spike, probably. I can get a lot of Ember. I can really scale out a guy. I think we gotta try for that. A lot of moving parts needed, but I'm kind of in Hail Mary mode anyway. -2 also could just work here. It's gonna be good no matter what. I think we really don't need this at all. Let's just take shards. At this point, shards don't matter. We might as well just go high shards at this point. We need to like get things to make this deck good. I could still hold out for the holdover. I just don't think we can justify it. I'll even remove a card at this point. I mean, like I said, I'm in such dire straits right now that nothing, I just can't really live. Probably want that extra stalwart. At least then if I have to cycle through the deck again, I can get some stacks. This is the worst. This is the worst we could have got. But obviously we aren't going to hit him with any spells. We need the money anyway. Well, we got both carvers here, so that's good at least. We might die to fucking scourges, though. I could set up mid, I guess. Not really, though. Yeah, this is a fucking nightmare. An absolute fucking nightmare. Well, we'll try top. Give you the shield. Oh, we're so fucked. Why don't we do this? Is this gonna be worth it? Not really. Oh, this is so sad. Can't even give me that, dude. Can't even throw me that bone. Oh, fuck you too, game. Fuck you too. If I could have killed that purifier, it probably would look a lot different. Look at this. I'm not even fucking killing these idiots. I can do that. I'm just inspiring here though, because I need to get some stats on the back guy and the front guy for that matter. Dude, look at this. Holdover Void Binding, and I can't even kill this guy. Well, I could use this turn. I might need to. I mean, it looks like I'm dead anyway. Might as well just try. This is so ridiculous. So fucking ridiculous. Just throw that away. I mean, I'm dead here. Can't survive that. I don't know. I don't know how you beat this without like cheesing the Shadow Siege. The seed is just so bad. I mean, there's other ways I could cheese it, knowing what comes up in the run. I just don't know how you beat this one with a fresh set of eyes. I don't know how you'd ever go Shadow Siege into sketches here with like a consistent game plan. Because here, I guess, let me put it this way. My challenge to somebody, if you can justify Shadow Siege where you justified it, beat it without taking sketches then, and Like either just use the infusion or you try to use the unit. I don't think you could. That's my challenge. I think somebody like Dusk could probably beat this with a fresh pair of eyes. I don't know if I want to run this run again. This run is like seriously just unfun. This is a nightmare of a seed. You found a good one here, Nate. Trying to think like what else could win this run. We saw alloy, we saw one egg, but we cannot hatch the egg fast enough in this build. That's just not happening. All we have is crucibles, morsel masters. We have a Shadow Siege I just don't think is takeable. Shadow Eater also just isn't eating enough. There's got to be a way to win without Shadow Siege sketches. Well, it's not called never give up to just give up, right? Let's go ahead and do it again. I'm a masochist. I'm down for the torture. We'll go right into it. Let me just think really quick though. Let me see if I can get inspired from everyone else. Like, so this is like I just don't know about this. Like I am, because I know people posted like the screenshots of that you could basically get Shadow Siege. So it's like maybe you did, or maybe you do, or maybe you don't know. To me, I'm like I just don't know. Again, I'd challenge anyone that went Shadow Siege here to stick to the plan where it made sense to take it at that point in the game and not have sketches show up. I'd challenge you to either just make the infusion work or to make the unit work. I don't know how that's gonna really work out in this run. This is like similar to what I had. Alloy. I mean, maybe Alloy could get it done. It just sucks, like not having the aggressive edible and not having like anything to really make stalwart. This is like the low roll of Primordium, and it's making me not want to have Primordium in my S tier anymore, even though my data shows it's like insane. This is the exact type of run I'm referring to when I just think Primordium has low rolls that are really bad. It's like the only way I can really make Primordium work in this run is how I just did it, and that, as you can see, that run is a nightmare. Like, just everything's Ember drained. You get to the point where something like the Penitent just hard counters that type of deck. And he actually had even the better Void Bindings. He had the better Frontliner and the better Void Bindings, and even that wasn't enough, right? Sato had that. He had the triple striking quick alloy, double stacked Void Bindings, with holdover. All right, new plan. New plan. I think Sato's onto it here though. Like permafrosted shroud. I think he has the idea here. I think alloy is the way. So he was doing basically what I was doing with the void bindings on holdover. We're going to try that. We're going to try that. So we use the same logic we did on the last run, except we take alloy. I can see alloy making sense. If I look ahead, you get alloy here. I could look ahead I don't know. It's still pretty tough for me to take Alloy there, knowing how bad my morsel gen is. Like, you kind of have to get Stalwart here. I guess if I... this is tough, because it's like... I don't know how his run went up until then, right? I don't know if he found holdover here. We also haven't visited this. Maybe holdover is here as well. Well, let's just try to make the alloy work. I just want to see if it does. Still think we're kind of gaming the system here a bit. But the thing is, Sato wouldn't have seen anything. Sato was the first to do this run. He would not have seen anything, ahead of time. Can we justify a Pyrostone housing? I don't know that we can. I think we still have to do jack strips here. Dun Echo, Mark of a Champion. Might as well do Dun Echo. I mean, none of the other stuff's going to make sense. Maybe just not take that. I could try just not taking that. It's hard for me to say that I would do that, though, you know. Shit, do we take... Okay, I just, like, auto-picked Superfood without even thinking about it. So we can pretty much do the same thing that we did the other time. We'll just do this. Do this right from the start. Don't do anything to that guy. Cry about it, because you know that's what I like to do. Take that guy out. That's crazy, though, that still isn't even enough to kill these tanks. I really hate tanks in this game. It's a problem with Umbra, killing tanks. I keep skipping this. This is probably needed, though, if I'm going to do the alloy route. You could take proc. That might help. I took the fly last time. I'm going to take the proc this time, see if that changes anything. I think we'll still do this. Don't think I'm going to permafrost anything. I'm not even going to surge stone anything. Let's just hold this over. Zero cost something out. Like this. I'm not going to take the piercing upgrade. It's not worth the shards to me. Nothing here is really worth... Ah, shit. You know what? We already fucked up. I got to do the minus... Okay. This is what I think. This is what I think Sato did. I think he didn't go that route at the start. I think he still went this route, and I think he must have found holdover here. Here's the thing, you had to have -2, you had to have holdover, you had to have... I don't know what the hell to do. This seed is just a nightmare. I'm gonna try to do it still according to how I could do it on a fresh pair of eyes. This is everything I did the very first time, so it has to make sense for a fresh pair of eyes. Now I will say I didn't void binding myself the first time. I could probably try to see that just so I can actually get the collector here. Take that one out. That guy... Son of a bitch. Okay, let's just let him hit the pyre. Got him. I think I see Umbra. I still gotta take Pact. You can't rely on pink plinks. So I took Bogfly the first time I ever did it. Should I take Proc? Should I be taking Total Recall? Some weird shit like that? I haven't even really considered that. I don't know how a Total Recall could be good, though. I think we take the Proc. We go this route. We're so sad to see Endless. I keep taking Collector. Should I be taking Warden instead? It's the only, it does have a better infusion. Like, this infusion is utterly useless. This one could work. That Sato did use it on Alloy. The problem is, like, I know in my... What I want to do different from Sato is I want to put Alloy into Alloy so I get that extra multi-strike, and it's just easier to fuel the unit. You know, granted I do have to wait all the way down to here to do that. Maybe this unit's just good in the meantime. We'll try it. We've tried Collector, it has done nothing for us, so... Could reroll here quick. Ugh. I guess we could. I don't know if I even want to spend that money on it. I think just a Battlestone's fine. If I took Warden, I'll even do the Strength Stone. If I took Warden, my idea would not be that I'm going to use this unit, because you just can't win with this unit. You could if you find Furnace Tap. That's about it. If you find Furnace Tap, you could make it work with Superfood Primordium, but otherwise this unit will not ever win you the game. So I have to be thinking I'm either infusing it or removing it. And I have to think I'm probably hitting this Merchant of Steel, so I gotta hold that gold. I look here, I do see the Piercing. I still think I would take this given that I need morsels. Maybe this would be better, but I think I always go Plink here because I just need morsels. And then -2, I don't think it makes sense. I mean, I'm trying to think. Sato did have -2 on his Void Binding. I'm just trying to think how that came about. Because the holdover must be hit here, is my guess. I don't know. It's also possible he did go this route, got the holdover, and just thought, hey, I'll -2 it. And Ember Drain other stuff. Maybe in the future I get a 3 artifact and I can still, like, spell chain it or double stack it, something like that. I could see that line making sense. Unit draft. Trying to remember, there's no good unit here anyway, but I think I would still take it. That's why proc sucks. It's like, how many times do I actually get to play proc here? Like none? Like fucking none? I don't know if I want that guy backline in here. Let's break the spell shield, I guess. Put these here. Extra damage shield. That thing won't survive sweep, so we don't want to draw back into it. I mean, it'll crush early game. That's what it's good at. And again, I think when I see that Umbras are coming up, no way I wouldn't take this. No way I wouldn't take that. Keep getting stuck down the same lines of thinking. I could see myself taking Kinhost Carapace. Here's the thing. At this point in the game, I know my situation. I know that I don't have a way out of Ember Drain. I know that I have Superfood Primordium, and that there's really no way I'm going to make this work unless I commit to a zero-cost holdover Void Binding. I am not really getting good units for this strategy, though. I could get a Kinhost Carapace to help me through this point of the game. I could fit it in to my current floor of Warden and Primordium. And it will definitely get me through the next few rings, just as a unit. As an infusion, it would be good on eggs. I have a Dun Echo. I think I start to think, I have a Dun Echo. My possibilities at the Wormkin banner could be like Keeper of Echoes, another Shard Soul Carver, another Kinhost Carapace, eggs. If I get eggs, I would absolutely love to have this, but I'd also love to put that into the eggs as well, so it's like it's really hard for me to justify Kinhost Carapace here. I feel like I would just take the Carver every time. Tell you what, let's take the Carver. I just don't see myself justifying Kinhost. In my right mind, I just would never take that over the Carver. Can I justify a Hellvent here? Not really. I think we try for a good Umbra unit, even though we know we're not going to get one. We see a Shitstone here. We see Morsel Master and Crucible Collector, and we're just so sad. Do we justify Morsel Master? I don't think so. Crucible's not a good... At this point, we don't know if we're getting any more Umbra units. And Crucible Warden is not good enough to center a game plan around, so Morsel Master's just out of the question for me. The infusion would also be out of the question, whereas like Maker would be absolutely fine there. We think like, yeah, that's probably not good. Maybe a multi-strike. It's not even a multi-strike, it's a quick. We keep not taking Nostalgia. The thing about Nostalgia, it turns all these plinks into amazing cards. It actually has the most immediate benefit to our deck. We still can fit Primordium and Crucible on a floor. Carver can fit on a floor, mid, bottom. Space will be an issue, but we almost don't care. I can just blast everything with plinks. I'm going to try the Nostalgia route. See how this works out. I think at this point, depending on what we get here, obviously, my idea would still be to go this route. I think the same logic applies. I'm kind of giving up right now on the Superfood Void Binding route. Even it on a holdover, I'm like, well, I just have a single striking unit. I've missed Frenzy Stone twice. If I go this route, I'm getting 15 shards here. I could maybe still justify the boons. I suppose I would take the boons still. And I could just put in some... I doubt I'd be using Carver, so I might as well just give it a nice $25 upgrade here. And we could also get rid of just a Steward for now. Maybe call that good and go into this fight. So we can't really feed that there. I think we just we put this here. We won't be able to feed it any morsels, but I don't want to like take the damage of jack strips if I don't have to. I could do this and miss, and this will just die, or I could do this and block it, guarantee the live. So might as well do that. I suppose I just do this to get it out of there. Could have also just plinked mid. That would have worked too, but nah. I think we might as well just do this. Actually get a proc off for once. I think this is the scary floor. Let's do this, but then also just get this out of there. Kind of want to just like redraw into good shit. I haven't hit man, yeah, the plinks really haven't done as much as you'd think, right? We'll save this for later. Might as well. Yeah, just do nothing here, I guess. Not the greatest floor to plink. I think I'd be more inclined to plink this. Okay, we can do that. I guess we can plink here. And we might as well do that. One there. One here. Do that. Do that. And might as well do that. 1 and 1. I mean, so far nostalgia's been kind of shitty. Really hasn't helped me much, but at least we'll get through this one. Okay. This seems untakeable. Insanity, maybe. I'd even be worried about insanity. It's like our echo generation's been pretty bad, but I think we're basically abandoning Umbra at this point and thinking we need to make a Wormkin deck work, so I think it's still worth a take. And I think we just skip here. Since I've lowered my pip, it's just so damn unlikely that I would be able to make any of this work. We could do draw or ember. I think we want draw. And I think we go this route for reasons already explained. I think we still do lost luggage. And see here, I'm wondering, since I'm so uncommitted now to anything Umbra, I know that I know that Primordium, even if I got aggressive here, you know, I haven't checked, but even if I got aggressive, Primordium is essentially useless to this run at this point. I'm almost thinking a Sketches makes sense here. I mean, I have no pip, and I'm going to rely on Wormkin units. No matter what I get, Wormkin-wise, it should be good with Sketches, so I think I can actually justify Sketches at this point. If you know me, I almost always do take Sketches early if I'm Wormkin, because it's so easy to make Sketches work in a Wormkin run. And at this point, we don't know if we're getting haste or not, so we want to maybe not remove the stewards yet. We can still keep Crucible. It'll be fine for a target for Primordium if it's not pulled by Sketches. I think what we don't want to do at this point is check the Wormkin banner. Now we have some options here. Keeper is obviously very, very good in Sketches decks, along with Carver. I'd almost be inclined to do that. Survivability is still going to be an issue. We could also do the egg. I think we do the keeper here. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. I don't think we can remove the stewards yet. I just don't think we can. We gotta... Knowing that it's not haste boss, obviously we would want to do that. But since we don't know that... the haste troop, I should say. Since we don't know that, we shouldn't, right? I think we still go stalwart, though, just in case. Just in case we can somehow make it work. You know, you never know what we might find that might open it up. There are other ways out of Ember Drain that are artifact-based. So what would we remove then? The plinks obviously are good for us. Probably the making of a morsel is bad for us at this point, right? So we remove that. Even the pack morsels is pretty bad. It's just a question of what's worse, right? We want infused cards, so we don't want to remove that. Hosting Kin is still good. Probably these Immortal Trades, 2 of them is a bit overkill. 1 of them is fine to keep, to every now and then play on our whoever's our frontliner mid. Got the Mark of Invasion. I think we take this for sure. We get a really good, we get about as good of a start as we could ever hope for, so we are not sad about this. Let's go ahead and just take one of them out with that. We probably want to inspire this floor as much as possible. So why don't we do that? We could do that and that. That way we're just getting all these stats. We really don't care about these. We can't even really fit them all out, but we might as well try to do a little bit here. We can have one of these come back, I guess. Well, it's obviously useless bounding echoes, as is motherfucking tradition. Let's see if we can get a kill here at least. Okay, we'll at least have him live to see one more day. We should probably hold that. We really would like to possibly get some value out of it. We'll see where this hits. If it does hit him, I can it. Okay, of course it doesn't. Why the fuck would it? Let's do that so this one dies. If that guy's in the back, we should be able to finish it with that. This isn't going to save him, unfortunately, so whatever. It's like this run just has it all. It's like even the map, the units, the RNG within the fights. Fucking nightmare. Works for me. I don't even know if we're gonna kill the boss here. Okay, whatever. If you must, I'll just do this. God. Guess we're still gonna leak, it looks like. Well, okay, if I do that, that's fine. This should pretty much get us close. Do that. Okay. Well, we make it through that. This might make sense. I mean, I'm already short on Pip, but theoretically, I'll have everything mid, and I won't really care about the other floors. There's also an infused forever consumed. I could see reasons for that, but I think we take the this. Revenge of the Damned's pretty good. Of course, Dun Echo, just piece of done shit. I think we take this. I mean, it's 2 Inspires, so that's going to be good for our floor. Now here, I think we diverge from our normal plan, because before we kept going this route because it had the better value. At this point, we kind of need to like start thinking about upgrades to our units. The Crucible Collector here is actually a good infusion to make. So we got to think of which unit we're hellventing. I think we hellvent the Keeper and put the Crucible onto him. This is one of those times I really think that would make a lot of sense. And since it is the one we're hellventing, we might as well multi-strike it and probably just... do we give it health? I think we gotta give it health. Quick would obviously be nice. We'll re-roll here and see if we get quick. We do. The quick can just go on this one then. That's fine. That can prevent some damage. Pretty sure we're going to have 3 of these Keepers, though, is the plan. So we're just going to put the Crucible Warden into the Keeper of Echoes. It's more likely to... Since we're going to eventually have 3 copies of this, the likely one that is at front, we want to have, you know, have that stuff, right? I don't even know if that makes sense, but whatever. I would maybe intrinsic... this. I'm trying to think what really makes the most sense here. Could do Bounty Echoes. I don't really like that. You know what? We got the Lost Luggage. Bounty Echoes probably makes sense. Let's do that. We obviously want a lot of Inspires in this deck. And at this point, we should remove every other unit. So since we have 3, we have what? 2 banners? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's remove 1 Train Steward. Unless we want to still have something to feed to Primordium. I can see that being good. Is it though? It's not really that good, is it? Honestly, I wish we could just... I do wish you could purge your champ for runs like this, because we really don't want Primordium at this point at all. It's just going to be a liability like these harvesters. It's like I either have to Ember Drain myself or give them a harvest. Actually, no, this one it's not a liability. I think we try for this. I would feel okay about this deck at this point. Can put you in there, just have you die. We can kill that. These guys aren't even going to hit us, so let's just go in here. This kind of sucks. Still kind of sucks. Whatever. Let's do this. We can do that. We can do that. I'm fine with this thing dying. We really don't need it. I just don't want to give too many harvests to the next floor. We might as well actually do this here. Shit. Why did I do it there? Fuck. I'm an idiot. Alright, we might be fine here though. Let's just do that, 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 that. We're good. Now we just need to hit Plinks. Doing that. Oh, I fucked that up. Idiot. Whatever. Let's just do this. I can do that for minimal downside. Guess we just don't play those. We should probably remove Void Binding and stuff like that. We kind of only have so many removals to do. Unfortunately. Damn it. This thing is not killing anything even at 20. It's kind of annoying. Hopefully we're not screwed here. I mean, I might be screwed. Fuck. That'll eat up 2 at least. Actually, we can just kill it. Yeah, this is fine. What am I saying? Perfect Insanity just hard counters that boss. Is that gonna fuck me? How does this work? Summon 4 random units on the middle floor. That's fine then, right? That was not really the, the type of artifact we're looking for, though. Obviously not that. This, maybe. I mean, we might need that. Done Echo, just done fucking it up as usual. Just never giving me the one I want. Yeah, totally. Total Recall. Fucking hell, man. I don't know. I don't know. Soul Cripple, maybe? That could really help me put in some damage. I don't know. Maybe just Ancient Resonance. I really wish it was fucking infused, though. So we've got all of our unit upgrades. We obviously need Hell Vents at this point. Artifact. I don't know. This. Unfortunately, Commemorative Spike eats this one. I know that. Sucks. We might need 30 here. I mean, I'm really struggling to kill anything with this, and it's pretty important for me to kind of hit it, you know? So I think I will do 30 there. We could purge out... I mean, this is pretty bad. The Void Binding is pretty bad. This is completely useless, though, so we should purge that. At least I can play that pretty handily. And like I said, at this point in the game, you might as well just shard it up. Unfortunately, we probably should have removed the Steward last turn. I didn't really factor in that I wouldn't be able to remove here, so hopefully we don't get screwed here. We kind of do. I mean, that's obviously the least one we wanted to not have on the mid. Sucks. And now, because of this, I can't play this. Really, really sucks. We're just gonna have to do our best, I think, to just fucking do all this shit here. We'll get this out of here. Oh, yay, incant. That's fun. By fun, I mean fucking bullshit. At least we can do that there. I think I'd rather Ember Drain myself once than have them stuck in the deck. Okay, we can do something good here. We can do this. That's some pretty good inspirations. I guess we could also kin host our units around if we needed to. That's a play I'll need to keep in mind. Okay. Still can't fit this fucker in. Still can't fit this fucker in. Amazingly enough. I don't know how if the nostalgia really has helped us much. I tend to think it probably hasn't. But whatever. We're better off getting Inspires. If he hurts my pyre, fuck it. Like, you go for it, buddy. 1, 2, 3. I might have to do this. So I know I can do... I mean, I can do this. I can do that. I think I have to do this in order to beat Arcus. Like, I have to have that damage shield. Even though it's fucking me out of, whatever it is here. Okay, we got him. But, we'll see. We'll see. Etchings. Could spec that. Probably not good. That. Maybe okay. These may be okay. Nothing that insane. Kindle. Probably not. And obviously not that. Ember. Or draw. I think we want Ember actually. Even though I have that extra thing. Even with the engine, I'm not able to play out all my cards, so I think it makes sense to go Ember here. I think we gotta go here. We gotta get those free removals. It's just gonna be good for us. We got all this money, we gotta make use of it. This could work. I mean, I do have the lost luggage. I also did just take an Ember upgrade, though. Reap, not that good. It's okay. I think we just try to get better shit. That's obviously useless. This is like okay. Nothing. Karuska is the big one we're looking for. I think we can probably take this and be decently happy with it, but we're not. It wasn't that good of a selection there. So we'll remove one. I don't really need the other one. But maybe I just wait on it, because at least it can be useful for fracturing your own units and stuff for now. Whereas, like, the Void Binding was okay. Maybe I keep the Void Binding. I could also keep the Immortal Trade. I'm just trying to think to the Divinity fight. Like, I'm probably gonna have to use those, you know? So what else could I remove? Proc has been okay. I think maybe the Immortal Trade is better than the Void Binding. Let's remove the Void Binding. It's less strain on my Ember. Man, they just love giving you -2 on this run, huh? We could probably -2 either this one or this one. This one probably makes... This one's probably better. Then I'm Ember Drain and I can still play it. Let's do that. And, wow, I can still do that, huh? Should I? I guess I could. I don't know. Probably not. Doesn't really matter what we take here. We're probably better off with just this so we don't have the damage shield. That way it dies quicker and I don't have to worry about harvests and stuff. Alright, Penitent, my favorite. I think we have to take this, even though it's gonna be annoying. If we don't get the gold here, we can't win. We have to have like a bunch of trinkets, the opportunity at a bunch of trinkets at least. At least the Bounding Echoes gets us an Inspire here. You can go ahead and die. I could kill these. I should probably try to do this. Let's see what that does. Oh, fuck you too then, game. God, I hate that shit. Alright, let's do this. That. We'll do that and that. That's why we keep the Steward. God. We just gotta stat this floor up. I don't really care about killing the purifiers down there. That guy can fuck off. We'll do this, this. Of course, we don't get any spell shield there, so we don't even waste our time with it. We're just going to draw Scourges only from here on out, it seems. No bones thrown here. No real sense in playing that. Might as well just clean up our future draws. We'll be at pretty low fire health by the end of this. Assuming we live. I mean, maybe that's too big of an assumption. Like, we're probably just dead. Okay, we're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do that. I can't kill any of these. 4. I can't even really do much there. Let's just do this then. That doesn't even kill it, even with fucking 50 damage. This is probably the worst Revenge of the Dam I've ever had, oddly enough. It's the most damage I've ever had on one, and it's the least I've ever been able to slay shit with them. Pretty fucking wild. Oh, this is a really tough one. That should help us, so definitely helps us. Wow. That's wild to me that I should have took draw. I should not have taken Ember. It's wild to me how bad I am at inspiring in this deck. That's just fucking wild to me. Well, we obviously don't want another one of them, it seems. Then again, maybe I do. I mean, it is technically 2 inspires, so I think we do want it. Why is Dun Echo so fucked to me? Like, this is actually ridiculous. Like, can you never give me the one I want? Broken Memories. This has been the most useless Dun Echo ever. We got it at the very first ring. Just a joke. Wormkin Spike might be the call here. I have the Ember for it. Probably should be Wormkin Spike. And we gotta go Hellvent. We gotta get that last Hellvent in. We go this. Wow, that is so bad. So fucking bad. Let's just do this. I could have done the draw, but Mind Jacks doesn't really matter here. We could do a Vapor Funnel. I doubt we'll find much better for our money. Teeth of Gold, that's this run in a nutshell. A little Hardened Hole, that would have been nice. We do find the Karuska, so no complaints there. 225 gold for a loader. I don't know that we need a loader here. It's an option. Permafrost. We could Permafrost Perfect Insanity. Probably. That's probably fine. I don't think we need the faulty loader. Yeah, let's do that. That down by 1 would be great. 10. I think we'll just reroll here. Double stack. Yeah. Could work there. It's just a one-time thing, though. It's not really worth my gold. I'd rather just purge out the... I do need to purge the Steward, so we gotta do that. Remove it, because we're gonna Hellvent the other guy. We got the 10 here. Let's just do it there, I think. Or here. Or here. Maybe there. Maybe there. And Hellvent has to go here. Alright, let's try it. Could do this here. Here we go. The liability. Like I said, this fucking unit. That's fine though, you won't get a harvest here. Great turn for Wormkin Spike, let me tell you. I think we want to just do that there. Yeah, we pretty much just want to do this. Look at all the inspires we're getting. This is fine. I think we'll be good. I mean, Chased, he'll take away all my damage shields, but who gives a shit? Like, We're just gonna destroy him otherwise. Can probably do this here, get more damage in unchased. We'll be good. I do think this is a line I could have arrived at normally. It's just tough. I think it really goes to show how much you just don't want to lean into Umbra. I think my first few playthroughs, I believed too much in Umbra, which you just can't do. At least banner unit-wise. Umbra as a clan has good spells. Banner unit-wise, though, it's a nightmare. We don't want to get Ember Drains, so we're setting that up, basically. And we'll do that. This guy is just going to get us, but we got the Vapor Funnel, so we're fine. Plinks hit a grand total of one of those. Sick, bro, sick. Let's fuck him up a bit. So he'll kill. We won't get Ember Drain because we got the quick on the one guy. At least we hit one of them. Do I need this in my deck? I can do that. I don't really need it, do I? Just do a little bit of extra damage when I can get a pretty good reap in. Okay. Nice hit, bro. Nice fucking hit. Let me tell you, that's pretty goddamn sick. Yeah, whatever. Let's just hold it. Keep it for chase when he comes back around. Alright, I mean, I'm pretty confident we'll be able to beat Divinity based on how that went. Like, by the end, this all comes together, right? But, yeah, I'm just trying to think. Compared to my very first run, the one that wasn't recorded, the one where you see my body, everything I did, rings 1 through 3, was essentially the same, other than I took a Collector instead of a Warden. And then, like, I still took Carver. I still went the Wormkin route. I just took the egg. I think because I took Artifact before Unit. Or no. I took Unit before Artifact. I couldn't really justify sketches, because at that point I had an Alloy, a Crucible Collector, and an egg, which did not make sense for sketches. But this could be a good call for re-evaluating just having any reliance on Umbra. Like, if I had leaned more into Wormkin as my plan, then sketches ends up making sense. I think the Umbra banners are just so bad that maybe this is the line. 15 health is perfect. He'll die. Thank God for that. We'll do this. That's a lot of damage shield, but I think we just want to do this. I think we can wait on that for a turn that we might need it more. We'll get one more damage shield. Commemorative Spike I should have just skipped. That is... what a trash artifact that is, right? It's pretty fucking bad. I'm actually surprised that killed anything. I'm impressed. We could try to kill that Shadewing before it gets to us. I could break this spell shield. Maybe that's worth it. That's probably worth it. I'm not getting any value from playing it up here. And then maybe These can just kill him. Okay, that got him. Nice. Have that die up there. We can hold this for the next turn. Man. The damage from the divinity is going to be tough, though. I'm going to have to think about that. I could hit my guy back. Why not? That way he'll survive, and now I got fresh 5 damage shield. Do I still have another kin host? So I should have saved that other one for that play. But at least now this guy survives and keeps helping the floor out. So I think that was the right call. Let's do this. This. I think we want this for this turn, so let's do this. And that should finish everything off. I could do this there. That's pretty good. We want enough to be able to do that. We want to get our echoes back up. We don't want to lose them, so we won't play that. I mean, we pretty much have it from here on out. We've dealt with the worst of everything that there is here. Let's go ahead and just break the shield down here, but still get the inspires here, I think. Unfortunately, we might be looking at some big Ember Drain here, but we have a lot of Ember anyway. I think we do this first, then that. We had a chance there. Those hit so poorly. Since we're Ember Drain, let's just do that anyway. But that lifesteal should basically pull us out of anything bad. That's not bad. Why don't we go ahead and just save our fire health, get a perfect victory here. Make it so we don't get that. Still has a spell shield, so no real point in playing the proc. So, obviously that wins. I'm just thinking about what I said earlier about challenging anyone to do the Shadow Siege line in a way that doesn't use sketches. And I see that being a bit hypocritical with what I just did necessarily. It's like, if my line would win without sketches, it's like I should be able to do it too. So even though I do find this other line that wins, I'm trying to think how this line wins without the sketches. Obviously I wouldn't have been able to do it this way. Keeper of Echoes probably isn't the unit that I take in the case of not going sketches. It has to be the egg. We find a lot of good support for that egg later on. So there's the accelerated incubation, and there's also the egg artifact that we do see. I don't think I saw an Endless, though, unfortunately, at the Merchants of Steel. Without Endless, I don't know. I saw Multi-Strike, and we saw Quick, like that would be good. That's enough for it to do some pretty good work. Without Aggressive Edible, though, it's still tough. It's worth a shot, but I don't know. I'm going to call this one good because I am tired of playing this seed. Until next time, peace.